Hello? Hello, beautiful people. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All these videos get posted on this subreddit right here called DF Sports. My username is Shook. Really good place to be if you ever need to get a hold of me, ask questions, stuff like that. People talk strategy and whatnot. Good place to be. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter at Tory Langley 1992. So TORYLANGLEY 1992. So that's how you get a hold of me privately through Twitter Messenger or Reddit Messenger. And then if you ever need to just ask questions, you can do so on Reddit. So it's been a really great year, man. I can't complain. Extremely profitable NFL season. Extremely profitable playoffs too so far. I think I cashed in double ups last week for the first, and I think I cashed. I don't know. I don't remember if I cashed during Wild Card weekend or not. I'm not sure. I feel like I think I did, but Showdown been extremely profitable as well. We've just been destroying NFL. So if Discord's something you're interested in, I'll have a link to that down below. So we're gonna go team by team, and then we're gonna go over cash games for you guys, cause I turned you guys all into cash game grinders. I turned you guys to the dark side, the much better side, the cash game side. We are not GPP bros around here. We are in our cash game mind. We just play the best plays. We set up our lineup, and we forget about it. Just live a much simpler life. Don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to play this guy because he's 1% owned compared to this guy. Nope. Just play the best plays, baby. So, like I said, we'll go team by team. And then we will go over cash games for the boys one time. So tough spot here for tough spot here for Brock. I mean, if you look at his game log, Dallas has been the only tough defense that he's played against, and you saw what happened. Only 9 fantasy points. I mean, sure, they didn't really need to use him that much. He did not throw any interceptions. He made completions when he needed to. Didn't make any mistakes. That's what you're gonna get with Brock Purdy. But looking at, I don't want to be a game log watcher, but just look who he's played. Seattle, bad. Arizona, bad. Raiders, bad. Washington, meh. Seattle, bad. Tampa Bay, good. Arizona, bad. KC, bad. So it's tough, right? Now he's going up against one of the best defenses in the league, in the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to try and rely on CMC. I think they're going to try and rely on Debo. I think they're going to try and rely on Brandon Ayuk. Do I think he has a ceiling? Yes, we saw it 2 weeks ago. But once again, cupcake matchups. So a little bit worried about the matchup, but we did see a ceiling game 2 weeks ago. I think he's in play because the price is so cheap. I think the floor is definitely there. Like if he got 9 fantasy points while not throwing any touchdowns and only throwing for 200 yards, then yeah, I think it's fine. Would I consider him in cash games? I don't think so. I think there's enough value to pretty much play the top quarterbacks on this slate, but I think he's definitely in play for GPPs. I mean, CMC is just amazing. I mean, how do you not play this guy? I don't know how you don't. So, played 44 of the possible 66 snaps. He's playing in a ton of pass plays. He has the highest ceiling on this slate by far. Maybe Jamar Chase might have a slightly higher ceiling, but usage is going to be there. Elijah Mitchell is also questionable. I don't know if he'll be playing or not. If he doesn't play, that definitely helps him as well. I think they're gonna have to rely more on CMC here over Elijah Mitchell. So I'm gonna expect a heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey in this game. But once again, definitely a tough spot. But he's kind of like a Giannis, matchup proof. Um, Always has a high floor, high ceiling combo. So Christian McCaffrey always going to be a very good play. And then going to wide receiver, I like the wide receivers here. I think Debo, I think Ayuk, I think they're both too cheap. Especially Brandon Ayuk. Like I said, they made the pricing super friendly here. If you take a look at snaps, Deebo Samuel basically played the whole game. Brandon Ayuk basically played the whole game. I assume Debo will get the tougher assignment and be more and be doubled more, which leaves a battle station here of Brandon Ayuk most likely getting one-on-one coverage at 4.4K, which I think is just egregiously priced. I don't understand the pricing here on Brandon Ayuk, so I think Ayuk looks like one of the better value plays on the slate. And I think Debo definitely looks good at 5.7K. Juwan, Ray just barely played. I think he got like a DNP last game. He played 2 snaps. Juwan Jennings played 30, so he played 40% of the snaps. I don't think we need to go there. I think I'd much rather play like a Tyler Boyd for not much more, but just a viable dart for GPPs. George Kittle, my only issue here is he's completely reliant on touchdowns, basically. Had a big game last week, but more often than not, he's probably going to need a touchdown or two to be in the winning lineup for GPPs. I think he's a fine cash game play, but for GPPs, I think Dallas Goedert for cheaper looks better, and then if I want to pay up, I'm probably going to be paying up to Kelsey, but that doesn't mean you can't play Kittle. I think it's completely fine. I'd much rather just pay down for Goddard or pay up for Travis Kelsey. Let's move on to the Eagles. So Jalen Hurts right now looking like the best quarterback play on the slate. Once again, really, really tough spot. 49ers are an amazing defense, but they're going to go all out. I think they're going to run Jalen Hurts a ton. I think they're going to have to throw a decent amount. I think the floor plus ceiling here is just absolutely insane. Right now, he's my favorite cash game quarterback on the slate, but Eagles doubles definitely look good. I think this Bengals KC environment definitely looks a lot better. So like maybe for GPPs, you shy away from Jalen Hurts since he will be very, very popular. I think that might be smart in GPPs, but for cash, I think I'm leaning right now. Jalen Hurts is the cash game quarterback. Miles Sanders going to get a bunch of volume. The only worry with him is you don't know who's going to be in the game when they're inside the 5. Like it could be Miles, could be Boston Scott, could be Gainwell. That's the only concern I have with Miles Sanders. He's also not involved in the passing game as well, which definitely hurts his floor, but he's probably going to get close to 20 touches on the ground. I don't really think they needed him in this game. They really didn't. They were slobbering the Giants. I think they just took it easy on him, which I think was pretty smart. So I think he'll go back to his normal snap count. I think he'll probably get close to 20 touches. I think he's fine. I'm not in love with it, but I think it's perfectly fine. I think it pains me to say it, but I think McKinnon might be a better play. It just pains me to say it. In GPPs, I'd rather play Miles. In cash, it's close. It's very close. But yeah, he'll probably get 15 to 20 touches. Very efficient runner. Definitely needs a touchdown though to pay off with his non-existent role in the passing game. So, Miles is fine. Also, one of the worst matchup in the league. So I'm not in love with it. Don't hate it though. I like the wide receivers though. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. These guys are also playing a ton of snaps. 51 for AJ out of the possible 65, and Devontae Smith played. Where's Devontae? 67 of the possible 67, so he's not leaving the field. So AJ probably gets you 6 to 10 targets. He'll play in the slot as well, so that 4 is there. I don't mind it. Devontae Smith, ever since Goddard came back, everyone was worried that his usage was going to go down, but the usage has stayed there. I think he's a very safe play at 6.8K. They want to give the ball to Devontae Smith, extremely talented wide receiver as well. Has had 20 plus point performances basically in the last 4 or 5 games. So, like both of the Philly wide receivers, Quez is just an okay dart. Sometimes we'll see him downfield, but not playing enough snaps for me to go there. Him and Pascal are kind of splitting those third wide receiver snaps. And then Goddard, 4.1K. Kind of like Kittle. If you need a ceiling game, he definitely needs to get into the end zone, but he provides a nice floor. They're going to look to get him the ball. He's probably going to get you 5 to 8 targets. Long of 23, 14, 18, 25, and 15, which definitely helps as well. Extremely talented, and 4.1K is just too cheap for Dallas Goedert. So I think he looks like a good cash game play as well. Same as a good GPP play too. Going over to Cincinnati. So this game definitely looks like the better environment, especially for GPPs. Joe Burrow, my second favorite quarterback on this slate outside of Jalen Hurts for GPPs. I think he'll be extremely popular in GPPs as well. Ever since getting Jamar Chase back, this offense has just been absolutely extremely efficient, and he's thrown for multiple touchdowns in the 3 of the last 5 games. Expect that to happen again here. Extremely high floor with how efficient he's been playing. So I think Joe Burrow looks great. I think Joe Mixon looks pretty good too. His snap count went back up last week. He played, I think, 65% of these snaps, 41 of the possible 74. So 55 ish, which is solid. Not the best, but solid. Samaje P. Ryan played about a little less than half, like 40% of the snaps. So I like Mixon. I like his role. He's going to be involved in the passing game. If we're going to get 20 attempts and 3 targets again at 6.5K, I think he makes for a very strong play going up against Kansas City. I don't know if we'll get that type of volume again, but I do like Mixon. I think Samaje Perine is definitely viable at 4.5K. Played 40% of the snaps last week. He will also be involved in the passing game. I don't think we get 7 attempts last week, but if we get like 3 to 5 and then like 4 or so targets, I think that's definitely doable at 4.5K. So, going to be really low owned, but I think he's definitely in play for GPPs this week at 4.5K. Jamar Chase, I don't have to go over why he's a good play. I don't understand the price tag. He should be 8.5K. It makes absolutely no sense why he's 7.6K. Has had basically double-digit targets for like every week since week 7 or week 5. So Jamar Chase just looks awesome here. Amazing play. T. Higgins is too cheap at 5.4K as well. Once again, the pricing here is just absolutely absurd. So T. Higgins looks great. Tyler Boyd at 3.8K I think is a solid value. Hasn't been used well of late, but he's gonna play. Where is he? Where is he? Is going to play a ton of snaps. Played 53 of the possible 74 snaps last week, so completely fine with some Tyler Boyd if you want to go there. And I think Hayden Hurst. I don't know why the price went down on him. He's consistently getting around 5 targets a game, which at 3K is all you really need. So he provides a nice floor at this price tag, and then if he gets into the end zone like last week, an even higher ceiling, and he'll get those targets inside the red zone as well. So Hurst looks good. Definitely one of the top tight end cash options. Going over to quarterbacks. So obviously Mahomes got injured last game. He'll be fine, good to go. I assume they're going to shoot him up with some drugs, so we'll see. As far as ranking him, I think he's my third favorite quarterback on the slate, behind Hurts and Joe Burrow, but it's Patrick Mahomes, right? I don't really think he needs an analysis here. The running back situation. So Pacheco had a season high in running back snaps last week. He actually McKinnon had a season high in running back snaps last week, if I recall correctly. He played, I think, 65%. Where is he? Oh, he's down at the bottom. Yeah, he played 65% of the snaps. He'll be involved in the passing game. They didn't give him a pass last game, had 0 targets, but 3 targets, 6 targets, 3 targets. Then when you go back, 8 targets, 9 targets. I don't think they'll be doing that again, but got 11 attempts, which is good to see. I think the injury to Dak, did I say Dak? I think the injury to Mahomes last week definitely hindered Jerick McKinnon's involvement in the passing game. So now that Mahomes has had a week to rest, I think he'll be more involved this week. And if we're going to expect 65% of the snaps, I think he's a good point per dollar play. Going to be very popular. I think he's a good fade in GPPs, but if you want to go there in cash games, I think that's completely reasonable. Pacheco had a nice week last week. He played about 30% of the snaps. He won't be involved in the passing game as much. Fine option. Don't love it. I think I prefer P. Ryan for cheaper, but I'm okay with it. The wide receiver situation. So Juju Smith-Schuster at four, it's crazy. It's crazy seeing him at this price. It's crazy, but it's the Travis Kelsey show. So maybe he deserves this price tag, but um, I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. Two, 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 three, four. I don't know what to make of it. He's just there for me. I really don't know what to make of it. Kadarius Toney had an extremely efficient week last week. Just be careful here. He only played like, I don't know, 20% of the snaps. Where is he? Yeah, he played 30% of the snaps. Just be a little bit careful there. Well, I think he's a solid value. I think he's definitely going to be a little bit overowned in GPPs. Was extremely efficient last week on the amount of snaps that he played. MVS played about half the snaps. Okay option. If everyone's going to go to Tony and GPPs, just give me MVS at a fraction of the ownership who will be on the field more most likely. Not going to go to anyone else though. And then Travis Kelsey makes for one of the best plays on the slate. Just absolute target monster. Playing pretty much the whole game. I don't think we need an analysis here. Had 17 targets, 14 catches. Somehow didn't get the 100-yard bonus, but had 2 touchdowns on top of that at sub 8K. Definitely looks really good. So going over cash games. So right now, I lean Jalen Hurts as my favorite cash game quarterback on the slate. He's just too cheap. Entirely too cheap. Joe Burrow going to be second for me. Mahomes going to be third, and then Brock Purdy going to be fourth for me. Um, that's how I rank the quarterbacks for cash. I think Joe Burrow is definitely. I'm definitely considering Joe Burrow over Jalen Hurts. I definitely am. But I think Jalen Hurts ranks number one for me right now. For running back, Christian McCaffrey going to rank number one for me, point per dollar. Joe Mixon going to rank number two for me, point per dollar. Jerick McKinnon going to rank number three for me, point per dollar. You can interchange Mixon and McKinnon depending on how you're building. I think they are definitely interchangeable. McKinnon definitely played more snaps than Mixon did last week. I think that's fine. Miles Sanders is going to be number four for me. I don't know if I would consider P. Ryan cash game viable, but if you want to go there to fit in studs, I wouldn't hate you for it, but it's definitely super fringe. Wide receiver, Chase going to be one for me. I think Higgins too, in all honesty, at that price tag. Ayuk 3, AJ Brown 4. Maybe I'll throw Debo at 2 or 3 actually. I wrote them all down actually. So, okay. Chase 1, Higgins 2, Debo 3, Ayuk 4, Brown 5, Tony 6, Devontae Smith 7. That's how I'd rank them point per dollar. I wrote it all down if you wanted to screenshot that. That's how I would rank them point per dollar for cash games. I don't know if I had Boyd in there, but I think Boyd's cash game viable as well. So those are my wide receiver rankings for cash. And then tight end rankings for cash. It's going to be Kelsey 1 if you can fit him, Hayden Hurst 2, Dallas Goedert 3, George Kittle 4. So that's how I would rank the slate for cash games point per dollar. So I hope this video helped you out, and I'll talk to y'all at another time.